So I lay down in the stirrups, I, disrobe. That is when things got uncomfortable. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. While this is not my very first video, this is my first video in a while. So I wanted to come in and reintroduce myself to everyone here. My name is Crystal Stewart. I am 31, mom of one, on a journey to conceive baby number 2. I am married. I work in HR, and so on today's video, I'm going to be sharing my TTC journey for baby number 2. I have been trying to conceive for over a year now, and I recently started with a fertility or infertility, however you like to say it, clinic or specialist, and I kind of want to start documenting my journey. YouTube has been super instrumental for me in this process, from everything from Googling or YouTubing and watching videos on every possible early pregnancy symptom, having a late cycle, missing my cycle, late ovulation, early ovulation, no ovulation. There's so many things that YouTube has taught me in this journey, and I want to pay it forward and pay it back by adding my journey to the algorithm as well. So let's jump into my story. So my husband and I recently PCS to a new base in 2023. I believe we got here at the end of April, maybe the middle of April. And yeah, so we began trying shortly after we PCS'd. Prior to that, I did have my child in 2021, and I removed my hormonal birth control, which was the Nexplanon. I had it here, if you can see the scar. I had it here, and I removed it in. So I wanted to pause here and clarify something. I gave birth to my first child in June of 2021, and then in February of 2023, I removed my birth control. Thus the start of my TTC journey. Okay. February. And so that was the initial start of my TTC journey. Unfortunately for me, I have not been successful in conceiving. I am grateful that I have not had any miscarriages or stillborns or anything that traumatic. However, I am very much so sad and emotional that I have also not been able to welcome in a new baby to the family. So with that, I decided to seek out some help. And I wanted to document what that process looked like for me. And as I go into this TTC journey, I will continue to try to vlog as much as I can, share my journey as much as I can, and also give you guys as much backstory so you can understand who I am, my unique differences and experiences, and maybe that will help you. Maybe that will shed some light on your situation, or maybe this is a video that you're going to send to a friend and say, hey, this sounds like something you're going through, and I hope that this is helpful, or at least gives you someone's shoulder to lean on. Virtually. All right, so here goes. I visited my I am at PREG. It's actually an acronym, but it spells out PREG. I will include what it is, but I'm going to try to say it from memory. I believe it is Piedmont Regional Gynecologist, I'm sorry. I think that's what it stands for, but I'm gonna put what it actually is in the video so you guys can see what it stands for. So being a military spouse, I am very blessed that our insurance covers at least, I want to say, a year, hopefully more if necessary, of fertility specialist and treatment and testing. So right in, I went into a consultation. I was fresh off of a cycle, about 7 days after a cycle. So I was expecting to soon ovulate there and start a new cycle. So we were, kind of in that 2-week wait, obviously, just to make sure that I'm not pregnant so we can move forward. Well, guess what, guys? I did not get my period. My cycle was I want to say 22 days late, and I was still getting negative test results. So at cycle day 35, they gave me progesterone, and I believe it was called Provera. Yes, Provera is the drug that they gave me. I got it fulfilled, but they said it was just a synthetic progesterone to force my cycle or jumpstart my cycle. So that happened, obviously, so not obviously, but Provera or progesterone, when it's in a synthetic form like that, works in the uterus. It does not trigger ovulation. It works in the uterus and it causes you just to cramp and shed uterine lining. Therefore, it's giving you a period, but it's not an ovulation period. With that, I did have that, and let's see, took it for 7 days. So it was 10 milligrams at 7 days. 10 milligrams for 7 days, okay? I ended it on Thursday. Now, typically they say it takes about 3 to 5 days after you end Provera for the cycle to start. Well, mine started the very next morning. I woke up and my cycle was on. I'm going to tell you guys, honestly, that specific prescription was so harsh on my body. It caused me to have so many hormones. So until I can't remember if I've seen it on YouTube. Maybe it was YouTube, or I might have read it on a medical journal or something. Because you guys know, if you're on a TTC journey, you know you are an investigator, you are a medical professional, you are a lawyer, you are all of the things, right? So I was just researching about the actual drug itself, and somewhere I read or heard that it makes you feel pregnant. Well, I will tell you this: not only did it make me feel pregnant, it took it to like the 10th level. It was like full on. My breasts were sore and achy. I was feeling nauseous. My nose was working overtime. I could smell any and everything. Like literally, I'd be driving in my car and I could smell the trees from outside. It was bananas. I was bloated. I was irritable. I was so exhausted. Like it was just horrible. And the first couple of days, it wasn't that bad. Mind you, it was only a 7-day dosage. So days like maybe 1 through 3, 3.5, not that bad. 4, 5, 6, and 7, as it like really started to set into my system, oh man. And then once the cycle actually started, that even turned it up even more for me. And I would like to add that since the age of 12, I've always had a 3-day cycle. I got my first cycle at 12 years old. I've always had a 3-day cycle. And yeah, so this was like, it started that Friday. So I ended Provera Thursday. My cycle started Friday. It lasted through 2 of my fertility testing dates, which was, I want to say through Thursday. No, today's Friday. Yeah, so through Thursday. Well, really it went off Wednesday, but Thursday was kind of like, and I'll give you guys more details on Thursday too. So yeah, so it was like 6 days, and I was like, wow, that was a lot for me. That was an emotional roller coaster. Definitely hated it. So moving on. So my first test that I had to complete in my process was my baseline testing blood draw, and they did a scan of my ovaries and my uterus. Very simple. It took maybe like 30-40 minutes for all of it to be done. I think they took about 4 vials of blood. At the time of this video, I have not received my results back for testing. At the time of this video, I have not received my results back from testing, as I took all of my tests this week. Today is Friday. All of the tests that I'm referring to when I say Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, I literally mean of the same week. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. I have not received any test results back at the time of this video. So with that being said, moving right along. We did the scan of my uterus, of my ovaries. We did the blood draw, so it took about 4 vials of blood. She did let me see all of my follicles, and she counted them for me. So I have 11 follicles on my right ovary and 9 follicles on my left ovary. Left me wondering if that is normal, because I've seen where people saying 12 or more is really good, or 6 or less is not so good. And so I was just kind of like, is that combined? Is that individually? Like, where does that put me? But I was told by a dear friend who has been through the ringer on IVF and fertility treatments. She was like, be encouraged. That's a really good sign. I literally had 1. So, that made me, a little bit more encouraged in my journey. So yeah, I took that test on cycle day 3. I was supposed to take it on cycle day 3, but I ended up taking it on cycle day 4 because of the nature of my job. I just could not miss that day. It was very important for me to be at work, and this was done so rapid fire because my cycle started on on Friday, which was cycle day 1. So Saturday and Sunday are cycle days 2 and 3. So cycle day 4 would have been Monday, and so I took my test on cycle day 5. There we go, on that Tuesday. So the next test is the HSG test, which is pretty popular and people talk about it quite a bit. I've seen a lot of negative reviews on it, and I will definitely give you guys very much so detail of my HSG. I will also include some footage I took of the room, what it kind of looked like for me. And I do also have my scans available, which I think I will share with you guys as well, because I think it's pretty cool. And it's nothing that's too sensitive or personal. So I took my HSG test on cycle day 7. So Tuesday was cycle day 5. Wednesday was cycle day 6. Thursday was cycle day 7. I took my HSG test on cycle day 7. I was told to take a couple Tylenol, maybe about an hour before. It can cause mild cramping that is similar to a period. That crap, the cramping hurt. It was definitely bearable. It was, I would say for me, a little bit more intense than mild, but it wasn't severe. However, it got more severe after the procedure was done and I was like headed home. So yeah, that was interesting for me. Anyway, so that was pretty intense for me. So I lay down in the stirrups, I, disrobe. I had on a dress that day strategically because I didn't want to have to do all the disrobing and redressing. So I just had to hike my dress up and take my undies off. I laid down on the bed. Now this does involve an x-ray machine going over your midsection. And then there were like 2 screens kind of just over my left shoulder. And it was kind of set up like a pap smear. The actual speculum or whatever it's called going in, that little ducky thing, the little duck clip goes in and it opens. That part didn't hurt. It revealed my cervix. They cleaned my cervix or put some betadine or iodine or something on there. And then they used this catheter-like thing to make a prick into my cervix to insert the dye. That is when things got uncomfortable. So I will say this process is uncomfortable for sure. There's no way around that. It's extremely uncomfortable. It borders the painful. It's just not a fun experience, okay? However, I was super encouraged because there were no blockages. Everything, the balloon filled up, the dye flowed beautifully. The dye burned, I would say burned or cramped a bit. But like I said, it was like the monitors were just over my left shoulder, so I was kind of able to watch the process as I'm laying down, which was great. She explains to me that everything looks good. It looks beautiful. She pointed out my uterus was the triangle-shaped thing. My fallopian tubes were doing this. Everything did what it was supposed to do. It crossed the line that it needed to cross, as she pointed out, and she was satisfied with my results. And she encouraged me to have sex this weekend and throughout the week and to keep going. She said a lot of women have spontaneous pregnancies after undergoing the HSG procedure. While she does not necessarily use it as a treatment, it's more for, I guess, information. She said, it does happen quite a bit, or enough to where she just lets her patients know, like, this is a really good time to try. So I did some digging. You guys know I went right to YouTube on that, and I am scouring the YouTube streets, okay? Because I need to know how much of a percentage, how often, how many, and however many women have successfully, naturally, spontaneously became pregnant after undergoing an HSG. I was very pleasantly surprised by the information. I also was led to the Cochrane Library medical database or journal, something like that, and I read their procedural findings on that as well. And so it doubles your chances. So if the average woman has like a 19 or 21% chance, it doubles that somewhere between, I think, like 40%, 37 to 40 or 50%, something like that. Don't quote me on the percentages. Definitely do your own research, but that is super exciting for me and good news. So I'm definitely TTCing and baby dancing as much as possible. There's so much more I want to unpack in this journey and share with you guys, so I will do that at other points. But I did kind of just want to start off with where I am in the infertility sector of this, because I have like a year's worth of knowledge, information, and just stories that I can share as far as my TTC journey has been going. And some odd things, you know, like, yeah. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I will update you guys as we go through the remaining of my husband's testing, and then we will do a follow-up and get our test results and treatment plan, and I will keep you guys posted. In the meantime, in between time, make sure you subscribe, you like this video, you leave an encouraging comment, or share it with a friend that may need to hear something good on today concerning their TTC journey. Baby dust to you if you're trying. Baby dust to me because I am. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.